Hey guys, welcome to Valverde United. Welcome to another video, and today is time to talk about Ernesto Valverde. I know the topic Valverde right now is very delicate. I think most people want him sacked, and I have to agree. I will say right now that it's not all Valverde's fault, as you know. It's also the board's fault, because they're the most responsible for hiring him. We are for a point responsible for accepting that while we were winning, things were supposedly being done the right way, and nothing close to what reality is actually. So I'm gonna say my reasons why Ernesto Valverde cannot continue for Barcelona coming next season. I have 5 talking points, and I'm gonna get through them throughout this video. So let's get started with the video. At first, it's been mostly like the football has been so boring. It's been absolutely awful. Like, the players right now, Ernesto Valverde has given the reason to the players to play with minimum effort and winning just with no reserving energy, by sitting back and letting Eibar, Celta, Rayo, letting teams that are completely inferior to you dominate the ball and go and attack you, and just because you have a better squad, go hit them on the counter and you'll probably beat them. And to a point, that's true, but it's been awful. Like this is not the Barcelona that I fell in love with. And I'm sure that most of you don't even recognize what this current Barcelona is. This is nothing close to Guardiola, Luis Enrique. It's nothing close to what we used to be. And things need to change coming next summer with a different manager that's gonna change things around. That's gonna want to play with a lot of intensity and effort. And it's wanna go to press high up the field and want to dominate the ball, have a lot of possession. And so that's the first point. There's also the second point, and I don't think I've ever seen a manager more infatuated with a player than Ernesto Valverde with Ivan Rakitic. And why do I say this? Is because PSG last summer, I think reports were true that PSG offered 90 million for Ivan Rakitic, and the reason that Ivan Rakitic is still at Barcelona is because Ernesto Valverde said that he was indispensable for the side coming this season. And let me tell you that, in my opinion, he isn't. Because let me just tell you that Ivan Rakitic doesn't add anything to the club right now that Arturo Vidal, Sergio Roberto, and Artur were not capable of doing this season. We would still have won the La Liga title. We would have still probably reached the Copa del Rey final, and we would have probably still reached the Champions League semi-finals without Ivan Rakitic. Because Ivan Rakitic, it's going down on his performances, and we stay with Rakitic for one more season. So we've lost 19 million, which is basically paying for the young. It completely pays a fee for the young, and then you have, with Ivan Rakitic, one more season, he has lost more in his value. So now we can only aspire for 50-60 million. Apparently, there's a rumor from Inter Milan. And he has occupied one position in the midfield that it could have been used for Aleñá to get a lot more minutes this season. Artur to completely establish himself in the team and be the first name in the team sheet for the midfield interiors. And we could have promoted Riqui Puig to the first team and given him a lot of minutes, and that would be very beneficial for Barcelona, because Riqui Puig, I think, is, with the young Artur, one of the superstars of the future that I think have massive potential to be not only one of the best in the world whenever they reach their best of the potential, but one of the best in history, because I see that he has a great personality. And we haven't been able to see that because Rakitic has been eating a lot of the minutes. If you distribute over 4,000 minutes of play from Ivan Rakitic to Ricky Puig, Aleñá, Arturo Vidal, Sergio Roberto, we could have done perfectly fine without Ivan Rakitic, and we would have seen the youngster develop, so the future is more secure for us. Also, now there's the third thing, and it's talking about Piqué, because Piqué, I think, has convinced Valverde, or to a point has given the reason to Valverde to sit back and change the way of doing things, because Piqué, I don't want to say it, but he's had a fantastic season, but has to go, because Piqué, I don't remember him having this great of a season for a long time, but he needs to go, because it's what he adds is nothing compared to all the things that he's not adding to the team, that he's been, in my opinion, not toxic but very problematic for the squad and the first team, and giving a very bad example as one of the supposed leaders of this team. He knew about the decisions of Neymar and Griezmann and did nothing. He was taking pressures with Neymar. Should I stay? Should I go to Paris Saint-Germain? Griezmann's La Decisión. He was doing the documentary with him. Apparently, also knew that. And you know, if you're not gonna be focused on Barcelona and you're a legend and you should be going out as a legend, we'll let you go out on a free because you deserve it, because you've been a legend for Barcelona and you're gonna be a legend for Barcelona always. But sorry, if you're not gonna be professional and commit totally to Barcelona. There's other clubs. I'm sure that there's other clubs out there that will pay you a lot, and thanks a lot for everything. But with Matis de Ligt, Lenglet, Umtiti and Todibo, in my opinion, we're more than secure for the center back position for the coming years. And then the big talking point, Ernesto Valverde, because these are all things that Ernesto Valverde has allowed to happen. But now let's talk about Ernesto Valverde and the situations of Coutinho, Dembélé and Malcolm. Dembélé is brought by the board and Coutinho is brought by the board. Dembélé is the Neymar replacement and Coutinho is the Iniesta replacement. We know that Coutinho was supposed to replace Iniesta progressively, get into the side, play a lot of minutes in midfield, and apparently we've normalized the fact that Coutinho went from being the Iniesta replacement to the Dembele competition. And I don't know what to say. Like, this is not normal to me. Like, Coutinho, I can't blame him for anything. I think I was very angry at the Liverpool game, and I took my anger on Coutinho, but he doesn't deserve it because we've lied to him. We've lied to him, Dembele, and Malcolm. Barcelona signed Malcolm, and the reason we signed Malcolm is because Valverde wanted Willian, and Valverde wanted us to pay 90 million, 120 million for Willian, for a 30-year-old Willian, and yet doesn't rate Malcolm. Well, in my opinion, if he's at least as good as Willian, is a lot years younger, and can give you a lot more intensity than Willian, and he's probably just as good, plays in the same position, the same role, and I don't understand why Malcolm hasn't been given more chances this season, because in terms of his performances, he deserves it. Always that he goes out in the field, he's eating the field. Like he's giving a lot of attitude. His attitude is fantastic. That's why I don't want to sell him, because he's proven that he's committed to succeed, and I want to see him Barcelona coming next season with a manager that's going to give him chances. This needs to be a meritocracy. You need to play by merit, by being better than everyone else. That's how you should be earning your minutes this season, not by, oh, I'm Coutinho, I cost 160 million, therefore I play ahead of everyone else. Dembele, we've destroyed Dembele's career. Like, we're destroying all of these players' career. Like, we've lied to Dembele. Like, we're always bringing in problems. Like, first season, you bring Coutinho and start playing him in his position. Start to be worrying. Malcolm. You bring him and he has to worry now about Malcolm. Next season, you want to bring in Griezmann. Like, what are we doing with Dembele? We're giving him no chances to feature in this team. And that is not okay. Like he has massive potential and he can be one of the very best. But if we don't give him chances, then just sell him, because you're destroying this kid's career. We're losing money, and we're not progressing as a club. Coutinho, he hasn't been given. I think he's been given 400 minutes in total. Since he's been at Barcelona for a year and a half, he's given 400 minutes in that interior position, in that Iniesta role. Of course he wasn't going to develop in that Iniesta role. He's never played there. He's been asked to play in the wing, and then we are asking, why is he playing badly? Because we've been trying to fit in Coutinho wherever he could play, because apparently in midfield we're not good enough to give him chances. Because we have an overbooking in centre midfield that doesn't allow him to do that, to try him on. It's like asking Messi to perform at centre back. I mean, maybe, who knows? He's Messi, but with all seriousness now, like, playing in your position, it's very important for a player's like performance and development in a certain position. You cannot ask Coutinho, Dembele, Malcolm to perform if they haven't had enough continuity in the role that suits them the most. The trust in the youth, like Juan Miranda this season. The reason that we let Cucurella go on loan was because Juan Miranda was apparently going to be given minutes this season, and I think he only featured 2 times this season. No, 3 times. 2 in the Copa, 1 in the Champions League. And after what happened in Levante, he didn't feature again. We didn't give him chances. Why is this that we didn't give him chances? Because you're telling me that, okay, he committed a few mistakes. He's playing the B team. Of course he's gonna make mistakes, but he needs to be given chances so he can improve, instead of putting players out of the possession like Semedo, Sergi Roberto, Vermaelen, Malcolm, and then you are not making the young player progress, and you're playing players out of possession and making them lose confidence. Like, that, in my opinion, Valverde doesn't take great decisions in that sense. Now you have the thing again with Rakitic. You have Arturo Vidal, Artur. They haven't featured enough minutes this season. They both deserve to play ahead of Rakitic a lot more minutes. If Rakitic is playing 4,000 minutes, each of them need to be at least playing 2,500 minutes each. He has responsibility for not motivating the youngsters of the team, like to Riqui Puig, Aleñá, Dembele, Malcolm, Semedo, like motivating the players to give their all, to be concentrated in the team, to be professionals. Like, Guardiola took care of Messi, and he's part responsible for the career of Messi, because Messi before that, when Rijkaard was here, when Frank Rijkaard was here, Messi was having a lot of injuries, just like Dembele. Muscle injuries, he was getting injured like every other month. He couldn't get himself fit, and it was really worrying that we were not going to see the most of Lionel Messi. In comes Guardiola. He puts in a set of rules of everyone beats professional. He starts like increasing the fines for regulated training, very strict, and everything is more professional at the club. And he talks to Messi. He's always on top of Messi. Are you being professional? Hey, go to a nutritionist. You need to do this, you need to do that. Messi understood that, and that's the reason we are seeing a Lionel Messi that is a professional Lionel Messi, and that's why he's the best in the world, because he's been able to not only has the talent and the hard work, but he's been able to keep it on with motivation and competing for the past 15 years. So Dembele, he's been getting injured like Messi, but doesn't have a Pep Guardiola to motivate him. Doesn't have someone to tell him, hey, you're maybe not doing things right, because it's very curious to me that Dembele is getting injured this much and he's never had a problem with injuries before. Like, he's playing less football than he did at Rennes and at Borussia Dortmund, and yet it's getting far more injured than he did before. I don't think he ever had an injury before he came to Barcelona. Like, if you ask Thomas Tuchel, I'm sure if Thomas Tuchel was our coach, Dembele wouldn't be getting injured. He would have his arm around him and making sure that he's a professional and that he's doing things right, that he's teaching him how to be a professional, because he's a youngster. He doesn't know how to be a professional. He doesn't need to know how to be a professional. We need to teach him. Someone needs to teach him how to be so. And the same is for every other youngster on the team. The experienced heads like Piqué, Messi, Suarez, Busquets, Alba, they all need to teach him, hey, this is how you're professional. Are you doing alright? Do you need any help? Do you need any I don't know, support? Like, someone do something, please. Like, we are losing a generational talent in Ousmane Dembele. Like, we are being less professional. You can arrive late to training. You do it once. Hey, just do it again. You can do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times, a million times. Of course, we are not as good. It's because we are. Ernesto Valverde has been okay with being the friend of the players in the team, because he doesn't want to annoy them. He wants to, because to a point he knows that if he starts annoying them, they're just gonna stop performing and they're gonna get him sacked. That's the reason why we're not gonna be able to press like Manchester City, like Liverpool, like Ajax, play with all that intensity, playing the best of the football that we can offer, because we don't have coaches like Klopp, Ten Hag, Guardiola that have been so strict and motivating the squad throughout the season. Like Manchester City, I don't know what game it was that they won, 3-1, I believe, I think it was against Fulham. I don't know. It was one of those games in the mid-season that they won, but because they didn't win with the intensity and with the football that Guardiola wanted to see, they made the players, instead of having a free day the next day, he made them train, and that's how you get better. Like, Klopp might look like he's this funny guy in the dressing room, and yes, he's probably a great motivator, but he's probably so strict with, like, I'm sure that no one arrives late to training at Liverpool Football Club. Ajax, it's because it's full of youngsters and they are motivated because they haven't won anything. Like, this is what I have to blame Ernesto Valverde, because although not everything is his fault, he's responsible for the parts that he's responsible for. He needs to get blamed for, and I think that I've just mentioned a lot of points that he's responsible for. There were things set up for success, and we want to achieve the same things. I think all Barcelona fans want to achieve the same trebles, the same kind of period of success with fantastic football, and we have all the things to do so, and yet are doing everything opposite to how everything used to be. We're not being professional enough. We are not trusting in La Masia. We're not promoting from within. We are not pressing high up the field. We're not trying to keep 60-70% of the possession. We are not creating 2 or 3 times more chances than the other teams, and we're sitting back and let them having a lot of chances. We're not giving our all the whole season and playing with maximum intensity. So we are playing sitting back, less intensity, and just try to win by counterattack, and just try to give your all at the end ladder of the season. And this is not Cruyffism. This is not a recipe for success. This is a recipe for failure. And if this continues, this will be a failure. Like, it will be worse next season. It will be worse the next season after that. And if Real Madrid react and do things right, which I don't know if they're gonna do, because I don't see clear what the project is. But if they do things right, if they start doing things right, we're gonna lose our dominance of Spanish football, and we could have another Barcelona and Inter. We could have another AC Milan and Inter Milan 2.0, where we just go into mid-table mediocrity and disappear out of the elite of world football for years to come. So leave me your comments in the comment section below. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm being too harsh? Do you want Ernesto Valverde to continue? Do you think he's not that bad of a coach? Who do you want to be the next coach of Barcelona? And leave me all your opinions in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one, Blaugranas.